FPS news and everything going on around the FPS space. I'm one of your co-hosts, Crash, joined by my good friends, co-host Buff and Blue. What's up, man?
What's going on?
How are we doing?
We are well.
Nice.
Ooh, very good.
We do take that. But yeah, it is before we get started, it is Memorial Day, as you guys know, and I feel kind of weird saying happy Memorial Day because what we're celebrating is a bit somber. But I basically just want to give a toast to all of our fallen heroes. And just take a second and think about why we're here, how we got here, why we're able to do this, and those brothers and sisters, those men and women that made the ultimate sacrifice. So here's to them. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
As we remember them on this day. That being said, we do have an action-packed show. I do believe lots of stuff to talk about. It's going to be, I'm a little bit worried, but I'm also a little bit excited. It could turn into another Ubisoft bashing session. So I have mixed feelings about that. There's a lot of stuff going on there. And then talking about the Call of Duty Black Ops teasers. We're an FPS show. We have to talk about it. Good or bad.
There wasn't any FPS stuff.
We'll get. That's true. That is true. So far, there's not been much there, but we'll get into it. And then XDefiant's launched. Blue and I were talking about it a little bit before we went live. Man, it's just weird. Like a lot of mixed feelings about that as well. Weird stuff with Arena Breakout, as people probably suspected. And then the new Siege season got announced over the weekend, and I'm a little bit bummed about it. So I want to talk about it and get reactions from these guys and from you guys in chat. With that being said as well, how many times, okay, drinking game, when I say with that being said, everybody takes a drink.
Sweet.
We'll get hammered. Buff's like, I'm in, I'm down. All right.
Cheers.
With you guys at home, chat is on the screen, so you guys can be part of the show. Also, if you guys are interested in a audio only experience, that is in the description wherever you're watching, whether it be horizontal or vertical. And if you do listen, we ask if you got a second, we'd love to have drop a review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. It might help us out. I don't know, but it sounds like it does. So that's cool. We've never fully
Sounds
funded,
like it does.
We've never fully funded the research to see if it helps, but it might. So it's good to see everybody in chat. How are you guys this weekend? What was going on, Buff? I saw you get out to the lake, man. You had a good time, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I hopefully look a little darker because I got super tan. It was a great weekend, yeah. Fantastic lake, beach, a lot of sun, fires. It was good stuff. A lot of wrestling, a lot of WCW from the 90s was on. Good stuff.
Oh, nice.
We had NHL playoffs going on, NBA playoffs. It was a damn good time, man.
Sounds like it. I didn't do anything like that. I kind of stayed inside for the most part because I had a long week last week. But then today, we took a little mini crash to the park and played around on some of the equipment. And he's pretty big into getting sticks and rocks and hitting sticks with rocks and vice versa. So
like men should do.
We did a lot of stick rock hitting. It was a good time for a 1-year-old. We had a good time. But then got into some games, played a lot of Siege over the weekend, and I watched the Manchester Major Rainbow Six Siege tournament was on. It was insane, dude. The last match was awesome. Like a complete North American underdog team won the whole thing. Beast Coast, no one expected them to, and they took out the European juggernaut BDS. And it took all, what is it? It was best of 5, so it was 2-2, 4. It took all 5. Yeah, it took all 5 maps. And it went into the end of regulation, and Beast Coast pulled it out. Like no one expected them to win. And they have a bunch of players like that have been dropped off other teams, so nobody really gave them a chance or anything. But they got this like new coach who's supposed to be awesome, and it was just cool, man. It was cool to watch it unfold. And then they talked about the new season, and I got bummed about it. And so that's the roller coaster of emotion there. How about you, Blue? What do you got going on over there in the Florida?
Yeah, so like Saturday was pretty chill for the most part because the wife was working for an extra day. And then I went back to Decision Tactical again that night. And then Sunday we drove to St. Augustine to go look at the fort that's there. One of the
nice.
old Spanish forts. It's like Castillo de San Marcos, I think it is. And then so we went there. We drove. We stopped by Buc-ee's on the way there because we had a Buc-ee's in Daytona. So we stopped by there, grabbed some stuff, ate some good old, brisket and whatnot, and then drove another hour to St. Augustine. Hanged out there for a bit. It was really hot, really hot. We were dying. We were sweating. I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt, and I was still hot. And that's just Florida. But of course, we had what was it? Oh, we got to see a cannon go off as well too on the top deck.
Cool.
So
Really?
that was really
That's
cool.
awesome.
They used like a 6 of the gunpowder that they would normally use. Of course, no actual projectile, but it was like when it shot, like the perfect O-ring of smoke came out as well too.
That's
I was like,
sweet.
damn, he's hitting.
Man, I wanted to shoot a cannonball out of that bitch and hit something. That'd be cool to see.
Dude, apparently those things, the one that's at the fort, it's a recreation of one, but apparently it could hit accurately up to half a mile and it can shoot all the way out past a mile, something like that. I don't know. It was, it's just insane the firepower those things are. And it's just and we got to see all like the different ammo types, like the chain shot, the what was it? It's like a bar shot. It's literally just 2 cannonballs and a single iron rod between them. And there's a Spanish shot, which is a ball with 2 spikes on each side. So I was like, damn, dude, these things are shooting crazy rounds. And then we saw a wax museum there, which is the oldest wax museum in the United States, which is pretty cool.
Those are creepy.
So we got to see a lot of cool. It was kind of creepy. Yeah, some of them look really realistic to the point where I thought their head was about to start moving, and then the others are like, you could tell it's wax. So, but it's cool. They had like all the presidents, all people from Florida, people from, they had like the Apollo 11 launch and whatnot. So it's and then they have like a back room that's like the dark side of Florida, is what they said. So it's like you can see pirate attacks and someone that apparently there was a thing that someone hanged for like 17 minutes and they timed it. It was like a science experiment back then. I don't know. It was the 1700s were a crazy time. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to see. It was like you can see the way they make them. And then yeah, that was pretty much it. And then we drove back, stopped by Buc-ee's again on the way back home. I got
brisket.
got some more pulled pork this time. I got this cool
There you go.
mug right here, and I got my second one. So good stuff.
Heck yeah.
Then I hit the
sounds
gym
like
this
a good
morning.
time. I have yet to make it to a Buc-ee's. My our in-laws live close to one, so they get my son like a little, like he's got a Buc-ee's hat he wears all the time, and like one of the beaver plushies that he carries around the house all the time.
The beaver's creepy. I'll say that. We saw the beaver's usually walking around and just a dude in a mascot uniform.
They have a mascot there.
Yeah. He's like taking pictures.
These
like
things are a spectacle, huh? Like,
dude, it's insane. They're building another one in Florida. Where was it? Somewhere nearby, closer this time actually to me. And apparently it's going to be the world's largest gas station, because currently the one that's the world's largest Buc-ee's is in Tennessee, I believe, which has like 175 gas pumps. So this one's going to trump that with more square footage and more gas pumps. I'm just like, how? It's already huge. I mean, just, and they're building like a giant car wash. It's crazy, man.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I got to see one day.
You can get lost in it.
I believe it.
You got the giant wall of jerky.
Dang it, protein. Wall of protein. Buck, were you playing Incursion Red River this weekend or recently?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a drug addict. I need to admit it right now. I'm a drug addict, and my drug is Incursion Red River. So
oh shit, that's a good.
I'm coming clean in front of everybody here. Yeah, it's I can't stop. I'm addicted. No, it's a amazing game. I finally got a chance to check it out. I had like a semi issue that I was telling you guys when I was installing, and it was an issue with my Windows installer. So I just had to force stop the Windows installer, and then everything was fine. It was a weird bug, but don't think it had anything to do with the game. I think it was just whatever was going on with my operating system. But I've been grinding it like crazy. I have to say, I'm like compiling a list of things I want to see that I'm going to send to you, Blue. But yeah,
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm having so much fun with that game. Justin and I have been playing it together. And,
I saw Justin's stream.
Yeah,
as well
dude,
too. So I was
so
like,
fun.
because he'll at incursion, so like I'll see it pop up.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh shit, okay, cool. You know.
Yeah, we ran a few raids on his stream. I think Wednesday or Thursday it was, and we were running a bunch today. I was getting some footage. We were leveling up the traders, but I have to say, like the gun animations, the attack, like the weapon customization, the inspects, just the way everything feels is so nice. So like coming from Arena Breakout, where it's PvPvE and it can get sweaty and like really try hard to some degrees, but like to come to like a chill PvE environment with incursion and be able to like build up your weapons and go in and just go nice tactically slow, and it's a lot of fun, dude. There's
you don't gotta pay $250,
Yeah, and I will say like the graphics look awesome, but I was very impressed with the weapons and the customization of the game. It's
and that's
really
how it ran
stuff.
for you, actually, real quick.
What's up?
Like, how did it run for you? Like,
it ran beautifully. I'm running everything on Epic, and I'm not having any issues on I'm running a 470 Super with an i.
You have Lumen on or off?
I need to check my settings. I didn't touch. I looked at those settings. Whatever it was by default, that particular setting, I didn't touch it.
Got you. Because by itself looks great, but at Lumen, the Unreal Engine 5 stuff, makes it look just crazy. Which is why it's like I think Gray Zone Warfare has that on by default. I think it'd be crazy if it were to like have an option to turn it on or off. But
yeah, I'll double check and see if it's on, because I'll be playing it a bunch. So I was looking at that. I didn't really know what the best option was. So that was another thing I was going to add to you in my like list. I was going to ask you that.
There's so many ways to customize. You can customize the AI to your liking too.
I was doing that also. Yeah, I was doing that also. And then just the intricate detail for like you need the particular flash suppressor or flash hider to attach the threaded suppressor to it on the weapon. Is just it's really good stuff. I had
some help with that. I definitely was like, hey guys, this doesn't make sense from a firearms perspective. But yeah, most of the team did most of that work for sure. I definitely they just actually brought in another person to work on the game recently from
nice.
He helped with SCP-5K. He did character or like the character models. He helped with that.
Beautiful. That's another thing. That's another thing that was on my list. I was like, I really want to see.
Yeah, like that new SCP-5K update with the Antarctica mission with the cool looking dude in the white suit, so like that, and the really cool visor. Like he worked on that. He worked on. Sadly, he worked on the now defunct ISMC or IMSC mod for Sandstorm.
Yeah.
So and
that was
Operation
that was my favorite
too.
mod. So ISMC was my favorite mod for sure. Was Sandstorm.
So yeah, they're doing work, man. They're doing work.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's a really fun game.
Crash. 24 Crash,
right?
Touch it.
Yeah, I'm having a blast with this. So.
I gotta get in there. I gotta find the key. I'm a bad friend.
You really are.
I'm a bad guy, man. Like,
geez. So you key like months ago. How dare you? You know what?
Awful.
Never send you keys ever again.
I get it. I'm terrible. Yeah, guys. Probably next week's episode, it might just be me up here by myself, just rambling, because I'm gonna make everybody mad. I'm a bad friend, man. Dang it.
Also, 100 Days Till Stalker 2 comes out, just saying.
100 days.
Should we start putting a countdown timer on the stream? like and just.
I remember, didn't we
always
have? I feel like I said something before, or maybe it was for Stalker 2 as well too. I think you kept asking me where are we at, and it might have been for Stalker 2.
Yeah, we started to talk about putting a what you call it up, like a timer. We talked about putting a timer up, and then I think that might have jinxed it and made the delay happen. So we should maybe not
Sure.
not do that.
They
Not
listen
do
to our podcast too. GSEs out there.
that. I'm sure. Let's talk about the Black Ops 6 teasers, and I guess we'll try to get through without getting too mad. The thing that these are showing me, the wildest shit, is that you can the wildest thing is you can see the maps from that leak like 2 years ago for this game. Like it's all happening.
We covered it on one of the shows way back then. Yeah,
like a long ass time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy that's how long this game has like been worked on and stuff. And then there's actually, they do this every year, right? So like don't get my enthusiasm for what we're seeing now as hype for the game, because that's not what it is. They just do a good job with this shit, and they build it up so awesome. So if we're just looking at for what's there, it's like the teasers is showing like 90s Americana cut in with like some of the conflict through the Gulf War and stuff like that. And then you have the trailer, the teaser trailer goes live in the morning. And on that, the thumbnail shows Saddam, just straight up Saddam. Like they didn't even like make someone that looks like him, like they did with Soleimani. And then there's coordinates on it that goes straight up to Saddam's palace. So yeah, like we talked about probably a year and a half ago at this point, it's straight up Gulf War stuff. And it's cool how like gritty it's going to be. And then I feel like also, and you guys can tell me if I'm on base or not here. There are always these things, right? Like they say there's going to be something so controversial in the campaign, right? Like the clean house mission, or there's going to be something that's going to be so crazy. And now they're talking about it like it's going to be like Saddam's palace and stuff like that is going to be.
I heard it was going to be 9/11 was what I heard.
I thought so. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. Yeah. Which is like, I don't know, man. This is like, there's definitely been, it's a touchy subject. I feel like still, I mean, then again, it depends on who you ask. Like if you ask a younger generation guy, they probably don't see it as such a touchy subject, but
yeah, I don't know.
What do you guys think?
I can see that being depending on how the campaign and everything plays out, but with Call of Duty, I mean, their campaigns are always great, but I have a very big problem, especially now that I am open up to the PC world. It's like they can go serious with campaign, and potentially if they do include 9/11 or not, we don't know yet, but you know, it could be a really emotionally like charged, great campaign like we typically get with Call of Duty, minus
it could be very well
right done. I would say Modern Warfare 3 and 2 were not good campaigns, but for the most part they usually do great campaigns. But you know, I do, like you said, that's a touchy subject. You know, I remember that. It depends on really how they cover it. We see a lot of stuff in the trailer here, like Bill Clinton. So it's going to mainly be like early 90s. I heard that there's going to be a time skip from the mid 90s to the early 2000s when 9/11 takes place. I think we all know it's going to be coming, is just the, you know, ooh type fucking bundles to the game. And I think that really takes away from whatever they're going to do in the campaign. The
seriousness of their
if they're going to go that route, if they're really going to go a 9/11 route with the campaign or whatever they do, I just think that's just a slap of the face to everybody, and especially those who served. It's just that kind of crap, like Teletubbies and crap. Like if you're going to make a game that's this type of teaser trailer with Bush Senior, Clinton, all this
and
stuff,
like the whole like promo of like the facing the
right,
the monuments and stuff like that.
I agree. Like the Call of Duty developers need to grow some balls and double down and make a serious game and stop this uwu kitty cat crap that they've been doing the past
Dude, if I
couple
see
years.
if I see that walking around Gulf War, I'm gonna
Yeah,
my
I honestly
brain
like
aneurysm.
where I'm at with this is I'm going to cover it because that's unfortunately what my channel is mainly built on. But I have no interest in playing this game whatsoever because we all know that's what it's going to be. We haven't had a Milsim bundle in like 4 years. There wasn't a single light machine gun added to Modern Warfare 2, which is crazy because Incursion Red River can come out with new weapons within a month and a half. So it doesn't make any sense to me. I'm
That's 6 people.
like, yeah, blown away by it. It just shows lack of any sort of integrity. So I hope it's a great game. I think the campaign will be good, but multiplayer, you're gonna get a bunch of anime little Teletubbies running around,
Dude,
up at each other. It's gonna
what
be
about the sheer look of terror on Saddam Hussein's face when the Teletubbies kicked the door down?
I think it was the Teletubbies that found him in that hole and executed him, right? The Teletubbies, yeah. And it was just on their stomach like televisions was like
showcasing
George Bush, just like we're gonna hang you.
They were talking through the Teletubbies.
Yeah.
On their
I think that's what happened. That's
screens on their stomach.
I remember that. I remember it.
I was there.
I mean, hopefully maybe they'll do a time skip to what was it, 2011, 2010, when
2011.
Yeah, I think it was when the space aliens came down and killed Osama bin Laden. Is that what I think that's what happened, right? With their space guns. DLC. So that'll happen. Yeah, that'll be a great mission. I remember when the aliens from Zeta Reticula came down and just cleaned up house for us. That was
I think they were the same ones.
Found the ray gun.
If I'm not mistaken,
I remember that. Man. I remember it.
If I'm not mistaken, those are the same aliens buff that time traveled back to World War II and gave Hitler the laser guns.
And the F-2000. And the red dots. And I think they performed some probes on some people too. I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know.
I think
someone's gonna like randomly show up to this podcast and actually think that's what we're serious about.
No, what would be awesome, but that just shows the state of how ridiculous Call of Duty is now. That we have a serious trailer, and this is where we know it's going to go. It's just sad.
Somebody should make a super serious documentary that shows the timeline of events in Call of Duty's universe and just about like laser guns and F-2000s and Teletubbies, and cat soldiers.
Yeah, if they go that route, I think if they go that route, it's disrespectful, and that's kind of the same vibe I got from Battlefield 5. Is like you're gonna do a World War II game with a bunch of crazy crap in it instead of actually World War II. It's like that's not. If you're gonna do something outlandish, make a title in an alternate universe, which they didn't do, and Call of Duty probably won't do. So I'm okay with crazy stuff, but like don't pretend it's based in reality and then come out with a bunch of nonsense post-season. Yeah. Especially if they're going to be covering the Black Hawk Down event and stuff also, which is rumored. Like were Teletubbies involved in the Battle of Mogadishu? Like, I don't know, like where are they going with this? It's just, I'm so upset with Call of Duty and what they've done lately. It's just become a little girls game. Like a bunch of Girl Scouts play that crap. And it's if they go that route with this game specifically based on this trailer, I just think it's really disrespectful.
Yeah. I mean, the campaign will most likely stay separate from this, and it'll kind of stay in its universe and won't get hit with the skins and stuff. But I just miss a time when I mean, this could have been because I was like early on in gaming and stuff, but it felt like when the multiplayer reflected the campaign a little bit. So you kind of felt like, hey, we're dropping in like into this place, and I gotta like kill these bad guys, and like it just fit within the game.
Yeah, dude, go back to like the early days of Call of Duty and the early days of Medal of Honor, like those World War II shooters back in the day when their multiplayer was just an extension of the campaign maps. The weapons were all true to life. They even like when they were like promoting, like I remember when they promoted like Medal of Honor Frontline and whatnot, those games in general would showcase their research that they would put into the game history wise. So like we understand like this, like, oh, we wanted to make this location from the actual battle that it took place in. Are we gonna see like the Highway of Death in the campaign? Are we gonna start seeing stuff like that there in the Gulf War? Are we gonna You know, are they gonna recreate, you know, Iraq and stuff like that to
I mean,
to T?
Well,
Probably not. But I
T-Mask,
mean,
T-Mask in chat brings up a great point. You know, when President Nicki Minaj put us in that battle, Blue, that war, President Nicki Minaj was like, there should be no highway of death, and we're sending the Teletubby army. And that's, I think,
it's
what
gonna be
we
the
can
scene that, like,
expect.
when Bush is getting like told 9/11's happening. It's gonna be just Nicki just reading a book to kids.
Nicki Minaj, yeah, just like, and when I was a slutty hooker on the streets of Philadelphia.
boom.
I will say also that little commercial of, because just real quick, I popped up. I saw Frank's
Frank's
Woods
Wood, yeah, yeah.
Wood. I just thought that was funny. The fact that did he like retire and like start making a clothing company?
He
In
might have.
in the game. I don't know. There's so
Yeah, and
many
this is the
questions I
90s
have.
too. Like that was
Yeah,
Vietnam. He was in probably his 20s in the let's assume 20s, and so 60, let's just assume 68 probably, right?
I mean, I
So
remember like Black Ops 2, was it? They showed like an older Frank Woods in a wheelchair.
and that
They're
was
in like
2020. So if
exactly.
this is 90s, he's probably going to be in his 50s at that point,
So,
which works. I mean, that works for sure, but
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
bet the
I really just hope they keep it grounded, man. I just want a grounded Call of Duty, for
I
God's
think the
sakes.
campaign will be, but the multiplayer is going to become
very little hope.
unhinged at
Yeah.
the very first season. It's
Which is what we were expecting at this point, which just shows the trend of it. It's just
yeah, we're just not the audience
really,
anymore. Like
we're
that's,
not the audience anymore. But it's sad because like we used to be the audience used to be. This was an offshoot from Battlefield back in the day, and it started World War II, Modern Warfare, and then it got Arcadia Tech, which is fine. And I have no problem with the outlandish stuff, but the fact that they don't include any assets from single player or any grounded skins from single player is just ridiculous. Because you build all that stuff and you're not going to sell it as bundles, but you're going to build extra assets of Teletubbies. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any
Wait
sense.
till the pre-order bundles start coming out and we start seeing those crazy skins as
well,
well
and that's
too.
that's
Yeah,
what I
man.
thought too. Was when it first started happening, it's like a few weird skins is not a big deal. Like, but I didn't foresee a future where that's all it is.
That's
It's
it.
all-
Yeah, exactly.
It's all crossovers. It's all weird skins. It's basically like Fortnite. It's Fortnite, man. Like
It is Fortnite.
it's the
Yes.
Fortnite skin thing with the
And
crossovers.
they're doing
And
Gundam now. Like
Yeah.
for this next season, Modern Warfare is going to be, or Modern Warfare 3 is going to be Gundam themed. Like
Wait,
there
really?
hasn't been a new Gundam
Jeez.
themed IP in like 30 years. It's just like, where is this coming from? You're missing
Yeah.
John Wick, all this stuff that would fit into the Modern Warfare universe. They're just ignoring, and they're like, we're gonna do Gundam and Teletubbies. It just doesn't, like, which is fine. You can do
Not
that.
even the
but,
real
like,
Teletubbies, off-brand Teletubbies.
yeah,
I mean,
can
why
you
would-
give us something that fits into the universe and the timeline, for Christ's sake?
why wouldn't they
It's
do some
crazy.
other crossovers with like military type stuff? Like maybe like a Chris Pratt
Yeah.
terminal list skin would be cool.
That's
or
what I'm
something,
saying,
like,
dude.
something
And they
like that.
Extraction
Yes,
or
and they
yeah.
did all that in Modern Warfare 2019, which is stupid. 2019 had a great mix of like crazy stuff and grounded stuff. They did Sicario skins, and a bunch of others. It was great. Like that was a great mix.
Yeah, they
And
did like
then-
Ronin and like those actual
Yeah.
operator, like actual real special
Yeah.
forces
Yeah.
operators.
Yeah.
And, shit.
And
Those
then
are
they're
cool.
like,
or like
well, this-
or people that were like in the gun community and stuff like that
Right.
as well too.
And then they're like, well, these crazy ones are making way more sales, so we should only do that. So then you have, which is fine. I'm sure they're making more money, but then you have the other folks like myself and my community and a bunch of others who just aren't buying anything now because there's not a mix. It's just crazy garbage in the stores. Like
Yeah.
I bought one total store bundle in Modern Warfare 3. That was it.
If I do
I bought
try to-
probably 70 to 100 in Modern Warfare 2019 versus
Yeah.
one in Modern Warfare 3.
I believe it. If I'm talking like devil's advocate and try to come up with something good about this game, I'm trying to cover all the bases here. It will be interesting to see what Treyarch comes with content wise. Not saying it's going to be great or anything. I'm just have an eye on it because this is the first time in quite a while they've got a full dev cycle on a game because they had to step in and help with a couple of them. So this is like the first time we're going to see a full dev cycle from them, as well as it's been a while, right, since we've seen a Treyarch game. And also, this is going to be, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the end of the PlayStation exclusivity, and this COD will probably be on Game Pass?
I'm not sure actually, but I do know it is supposedly going last gen also, which is I think a big mistake.
Yeah, that's the other thing. That's a great point to talk about. How do you guys do about that? It's going to be on last gen again, PS4s and Xbox Ones.
Yeah, that's hindering them because they got to optimize for such older consoles. I know.
Like the PlayStation 4, dude, that gen of consoles came out 2013. That's 9 years ago. We
11.
gotta move. Yeah, yes, 11. You're right. We gotta move. We gotta move on, man. Like, what are we doing? Just holding back what the game can be.
I saw
it's not hard to get an next gen console these days.
Tom Henderson did a tweet where like 48% of people that play COD on PlayStation are on last gen. Like almost half.
I think 48% of the COD population should get a real job then, man.
Well, they can't afford consoles because they're buying Teletubbies.
There you go. That's the problem. You're buying a bunch of dumb little girls skins and not getting new consoles. Problem solved.
I will say, I think having it on Game Pass would actually be nice for me, for someone that doesn't want to put money into it directly, and I just want to just test it maybe for like a month or something like that.
Yeah, it is cool for that. Like if you're playing other stuff and have Game Pass anyway, you can get in and play like the grounded campaign and then bounce. Yeah, you don't have to pay.
That's what I've done with Starfield. Like when I wanted to test that out, it came out Game Pass. Let me just check it out. Realized it was a crappy game, and I just stopped paying for Game Pass. You know. So.
I do think it is really crazy where we came from with Modern Warfare 2019, which I think revitalized the franchise and really brought back a lot of the OG COD players. And that was an extremely high selling game. We had the introduction of Warzone. Like that's the game where my content was through the roof. And when they went away from that type of model into this other model, like you just see everything across the board suffer for the game. But they're selling store bundles, so it doesn't, they're making up the money by having a worse product year after year. That's what's really happening, which is extremely upsetting. So I'm going to buy it and I'm going to cover it because I have to, but will I play it outside of the content that I produce? The answer is no, unless there's a DMZ or something to it, because Warzone at this point is completely not fun whatsoever. So
it's been
really nothing redeeming for the franchise whatsoever at this point.
It's been really wild to see their lack of support for Battle Royale too. Like they dropped DMZ, but all these seasons have just been about Rebirth and Resurgence, and they have done nothing. Like there's no
Crash,
big map.
You got zombies, dude. What else do you want, man? People love zombies. You can go around the map PvE and with a bunch of friendlies and just kill zombies with no challenge whatsoever. I think that's a way better option than supporting Battle Royale or DMZ, especially when we're in like a huge era of extraction shooters. It makes more sense to just kill zombies mindlessly.
I totally get your point.
Did you see Rilo's?
Use your head. Did you
see Rilo's video about the extraction genre?
I think I did. Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah. Just like, the whole point of just like no game has gotten it right on a massive audience on a massive scale. Heck, not even like compared to the numbers of like Tarkov and Hunt Showdown compared to just the amount of millions of players that play Call of Duty normally. Like, I think that they saw just DMZ wasn't enough to work on for their pockets, which it's all about money at the end of the day, not about
But when you do
experience.
a half-baked horrendous version of extraction shooter, like
for sure they didn't put any time whatsoever into it. Feels like
they didn't understand what people look for in that kind of game.
Terrible.
When they design
and for me, I think I get it too. Or else so it's not the extraction game mode as by itself. It's everything surrounding it. Of like take the Tarkov elements, like sitting there eating some food,
right?
And there's a firefight down the way. There's all these really sick animations of you loading rounds, and or not even little rounds, but just all the little nuances and the immersion factor is on a whole different scale. Same thing with like Hunt Showdown, where it's like it's super immersive. You shoot a horse down because it's making too much noise, and you walk by crows, they go off and let people know your location. DMZ had none of that. It was just, here's a helicopter that picks you up. It's still the same Call of Duty movement, and
Yeah.
that's it. And again, Call of Duty shooting mechanics. It wasn't anything that was like, this is an extraction game in Call of Duty.
Remember we talked about though. Remember we were theorizing before Modern Warfare 2 came out. We were like, hopefully, if they're smart, they're going to do like separate game modes with separate movement systems and mechanics and everything. And they never did that. And to Justin's point in chat, like they've had no competition. They've had no reason to do it until now. Like you have Delta Force and these other ones who are going to do the extraction shooter genre, and they're actually going to do it correctly. I think the excitement for Battle Royale is just so faded now because it's really all just try hard world record breaking players. Like I just don't have any interest in playing Call of Duty VR. But yeah. I think Delta Force, like Hazard Operations, you have so many other games out there now. There's actual competition, and they, like you said, Blue, they did not do that game mode correctly. They made it just extraction mechanics gameplay wise in Battle Royale essentially, and then they just were like completely didn't support it whatsoever and just allowed you to assimilate with 6-man to 8-man teams with huge MRAP vehicles and tanks and stuff, which was just extremely OP, and it took them way too long to patch. It's just typical.
As long as they have S&D and Black Ops 6, Crash will be happy.
Yeah. Wait, no, true. Stop. No.
Are there going to be footsteps in the game is the question.
Are there going to be footsteps in the game?
That too, yeah.
That is going to be
asking way too much.
This is Treyarch too, so Treyarch is going to be a different experience compared to Activision as well. I feel like
Dead Silence as a perk or a field upgrade is equating to a buy or do not buy from me.
I mean, when I play any competitive mode, I don't want to hear the enemy, so that's just me.
Yeah, that's right. No, you do.
I don't want to hear where anyone
to float around and randomly show up and fight.
It's a one life mode. Yeah, it's a one life mode. It adds an element of surprise, I think.
Yeah. That is nice. The more RNG,
I have a little bit more hope for Treyarch, but not much. It's not like a huge,
not much.
The more
I think
RNG
it's going to be the same old game.
The more RNG you can get in a one life mode, the better. I say. That's what I think. Player satisfaction.
I think it's going to be the same old. Yeah, right. I think it's going to be the same old Black Ops, honestly. But Blackout was an amazing battle royale back in the day. For Black Ops 4, that was a
mechanic. That was for a Black Ops game.
Yeah,
what if they did a Blackout extraction?
That was the first BR in COD, and it was. I will say it was way superior to anything Warzone. You had to loot attachments, all that stuff. That was a true BR. So maybe, and I will say Treyarch in that game, that's what's kind of crazy is like the then versus now. We're talking about like a 3 to 4 year time gap at that point. The support for Blackout, like if there was a broken weapon, that would be fixed within a few days. And they would constantly do hotfix, huge map reworks, everything. And then you see what they're doing today with Battle Royale, DMZ, multiplayer, like the lack of the clear, unbalanced, like broken stuff that takes months to fix is crazy. And then back in 2018, Treyarch was patching stuff all the time. As soon as there was something busted, they were patching it, adding game modes, making enormous map changes. It was crazy. And so I don't know what happened since really 2019, 2020. I mean, COVID happened, and I think that impacted a lot. But the quality of the production of Call of Duty and what they're doing is much less, and I think that has to do with the live service and the bundles.
Trailer team's on point though.
Trailer team's always on point. I think, yeah, same with Battlefield. They can produce garbage games, but the trailer team's crushing it.
Yeah. Do you guys know? That's a question, I guess, for Chad as well, or you, Buff. Do you remember if Treyarch games traditionally have footsteps, or do they have Dead Silence like constant as a perk, or? Don't they usually have dead silence as a perk? But it's not.
I think so, but they typically. I remember for Cold War was their last game, right? They typically they'll cater to more so what the audience wants. That was wrong with the last game. But Justin saying in chat they have ninja as a perk.
Do they have a
usually,
counter for that, like tack headset or
Yeah.
something?
They in the
No,
last
there's not really
iteration of
like
the
a-
game, there really wasn't that type of mechanic there, so we'll have to see.
It really wasn't like a
An
headset
awareness
option.
perk or something.
Yeah, headsets are like the first. Well, I can't remember for Cold War.
I think if anything, it was more like, okay, you have ninja on, but you can't have
Yeah, they did the good like pick 10 system where like there's
it's like
counters.
It's like,
for
yeah, you
everything.
can't hear footsteps, but you'll still be shown on a radar if UAV goes up, kind of thing.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
there's a,
So
they,
it's
they
like-
did they do a good job with like a risk reward system based on what you're having.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can just have no footsteps and all the advantages. There's going to be a con to that. That's
Yeah.
what's in the game.
yeah, sure, you might be quiet, but you might have a slower ADS speed than someone that has a a quick aim perk or something like that.
Right.
So
Yeah, they do a good job with that. I'll give them that. And I think Treyarch's like again with Black Ops 4 and Blackout, like they did an amazing job. So hopefully with a full dev cycle, finally, this is the first full dev cycle they've had since then. Hopefully they have something like that. Because I would prefer a Blackout to a Warzone at this point. I think Warzone needs to take a rest for a few years.
yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, they have ninja as a perk.
Well, who knows if that's what it's going to be. What
But
it is.
if I remember right, that's not like completely silent. It's just quiet.
No, you can. Yeah, it's subtle. It's not no footsteps.
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't.
MW3, it's
that
complete
quiet.
silence. Like
Yeah, and the problem is
nothing.
there's no counter to that, which is insane. Like it doesn't make any sense for a one life competitive mode. That's in the CDL. It makes no sense.
What's even crazier is if you do drop into MW3, every single person without exception has the covert sneakers on.
Yeah,
It's a perk. How do they not see that in the
con to
data?
it.
Like everyone's running this
con.
perk and there's no counter for it, but they just leave it alone.
Yeah, why bother?
It's
They
wild.
got Teletubby skins to come out with, Crash. Come on.
They're busy Teletubbying.
Well,
All
I
right.
mean, at this point, I would say the majority of the team's well off the game by now. You have the maintenance crew and the new season content crew and the patch crew. Like, I don't think there's that many people looking at this type of stuff anymore. I think they got it out the door, and the majority of Sledgehammer's on to the next title.
Yep. All right. We got to talk about their direct competitor, XDefiant, which is like a really
Call of Duty killer.
a really terrible attempt at a competitor. Like, this is the reason Call of Duty is able to do whatever they want is because their competitors look like XDefiant. Let's talk about it a little bit because I've heard a lot of people hate it and a lot of people like it, and I actually, after playing it a little bit, I kind of find myself in the middle. So I was really interested to see what you guys think and what everybody thinks in chat and in the comments and stuff. It's like, this is such a weird title for me because I had originally written it off because of all the delays and kind of all that stuff. But then I played it and two things hooked me right away. Not necessarily hooked me, but two things I really liked right away. That was
Surprised,
the fact,
if anything. No.
like the matchmaking. There's no skill-based matchmaking, and also counterpoint. It's pretty strict input-based matchmaking, which Mark Rubin said in the lead up to it. So
That's
my
good.
friends and I all on PC were playing against other people on all PC. It was like all mouse. So it was
Nice.
mouse on mouse, like everybody, there was no aim assist. Everybody had the same input. So we know that like mouse and keyboard and controllers have different strengths and different weaknesses when it comes to combat. So like just playing against people on the same input device in an arena shooter was really nice. And the no skill-based matchmaking made it fun. The downsides for me were like the modes are boring to me. I want a one life mode, and that's supposed to be coming. So I'm being patient with that, but I'm just kind of over the respawn stuff a little bit, but it still gave me a good opportunity to play it and get a feel like for the mechanics and the maps and stuff. I thought the maps are pretty good. I thought the optimization was really good. I am very confused at how after all these literal years, netcode is still an issue. Like the very
Yeah,
basic
yeah,
foundation of
that's
what you need
the
is still a
biggest
problem.
thing I've seen people getting shot behind walls when they're clearly around the corner. I wouldn't say, and that's the thing. It's we talked about it before it came out. I was like, I have a feeling that it'll still be successful in its own way. To the point where they might keep working on it. I don't think it's going to be a hyperscape. I don't think they're just going to drop it. I think they're going to keep putting money into it. I think there will be from the initial release, and the servers aren't on fire anymore. Think there might be, enough for 2 seasons and stuff like that. Like you said, eventually a one life more competitive mode will come out too. So I think that'll bring a lot of players to the game, returning players, because I'm pretty sure some people have already played it and just like, all right, I'll wait for more content. And again, this is, I haven't played it myself. It is a free to play game too, as well. So there's that going for them. You don't have to put money, into it to play whatsoever. But I'm kind of the same way. And I was just kind of watching different videos and trying to get like a collection of opinions that I can kind of like form my own as well too. And it's like, it's not a bad game. It's not a good game. It's kind of just a game that you can play.
I find myself in the middle. Like, yeah,
it's like you said before the stream started, it's the game of all games. It's
one of the games of all time.
Exactly. It's you ADS, you shoot people, they die. Of course,
around corners.
Sometimes you die in the wrong, around corners. Exactly. So it's, I really do feel like it is kind of, maybe I think they went too far. It's so people were asking, man, we want the old Call of Duty. It's like, whoa, hold on, you went too far back.
Yeah,
you went
brought
like
an old net code.
Exactly.
It didn't need to be that code,
old
authentic.
movement, stuff like that. The slide mechanics are weird. It looks wonky. And then but it's also like a hero shooter at the end of the day too. They got all the different characters from different franchises from Ubisoft, so it's like you have more of that aspect than just operator versus operator, or stuff like that. It's not just people with guns. It's like people with abilities and shields and drones and all kinds of seat and aim or wall hacks, kind of.
What also is crazy is I saw someone, because I'm trying to find where they said when S&D is coming. And so I went to Reddit and I searched for S&D in the XDefiant subreddit. And in one of the comments in there, someone said it's confirmed, and that it was also confirmed that there's not going to be any abilities. Like the abilities won't work in S&D. It's just straight
that'd be
up
cool for an S&D,
And
but I'm
like,
also, and yeah.
Don't tell me that. So like,
yeah, Blacker brings a good point. I was going to say that too. This is like, for how long they've been working on this game, it feels like nothing was changed from the first play test till now. I mean, I'm sure little things were, but I don't see it, man.
They just wanted to give you the authentic 2003 experience by also running it on servers from 2003. They're just fully immersing you in that time period. Okay.
I'm gonna go grab some Mountain Dew Code Red and just go ham. Do they even sell Code Red anymore? Is that a thing?
Probably. I think so. I don't know. I try not to drink pop anymore. I mix one in my bourbon like once a month.
Pop. That's you would say pop, Crash.
Right. What do you say, Buff?
Soda, like a American. Jesus.
Says the guy from New York. That's not America.
I just call everything Coke, regardless. I get a Coke.
Shit. Coke? You're a Coker, Blue? Like you just call it Coke, and there's multiple different kinds of Coke.
Yeah, and but it'll be like, is Pepsi okay? No, it's not. Not okay.
I just mix the bourbon with Coca-Cola every once in a while.
Soda can is fine.
Soda, that's what I'm saying, man.
I'll go with whatever, but sorry.
Code Red still a thing? Okay, confirmed. Thank you. All right, I can go and grab some Doritos and Mountain Dew Code Red and play some XDefiant and feel like I'm back in high school all over again, Yeah. So it's
boom.
The movement is wild. So I also see a lot of people complaining about the movement. The hopping is out of control, dude.
I was watching Shroud play it. Watch the top players play this game. It is such crackhead energy the entire time. Oh my god, I can't even keep up. Like, how does someone, maybe we're just old at this point, but how is someone watching someone play another game that fast and keeping up with what they're doing. I'm just like,
I think
This
S&D
is-
will also slow
this
that
is-
down too, though. Like people will have to play slower.
if there's good footsteps, if there's good movement, if there's no abilities, then yeah, because you're gonna have to, know map layout and position and stuff like that, compared to just how fast can I jump around this corner in ADS.
Why the movement is insane is because your character changes direction no matter what, even if you're in the air. So
Yeah,
you can actually jump, peek, and in midair come back behind cover. What's really strong that I was working on getting good at is you can slide out from cover and then immediately jump back behind cover. You can do like a slide peek, like really fast. And I don't know. I'm mixed on the movement too, because I feel like it's a skill gap. Like you can learn it to get really good at it.
You could, and then that's again, it's just maybe it's because it's just not that kind of game for me anymore. I'm not looking to sit here and try to figure out that movement meta or stuff like that. Like the most I ever did was figuring out how to b-hop properly in Battlefield. That was about the most I ever got to. So
I will have to concede that there should probably be some kind of penalty for jumping, like maybe a cooldown on it, and also maybe your gun sways a little bit, because right now, no matter what, which I don't know, it's
you can jump and your gun's just there regardless.
The bullets are the center of your screen, hit scan no matter what, all the time. So no matter what you're doing movement wise, your gun is like a laser beam. So that's why.
So it's not even real recoil then.
I mean, there's recoil, like, but your whole screen like moves recoil, but there's not that like sway and decoupling. That there might be minor, but it's not noticeable like it is in COD anymore. And there's no accuracy penalties for like sliding, jumping, and crazy stuff like that. So I think that's why the movement is absolutely out of control right now.
Which is crazy. They didn't this game was in like beta testing for like the past 2 years. I
wonder if it's not intentional though, because you can get like, I was learning it and I was and what was cool, like I played it a few hours and I was starting to get the feel for it and do some of those slide peaks and stuff, and could feel myself getting better because there wasn't skill-based matchmaking. Like I was improving at the game and could feel it, which was awesome. So I just kind of hope they get the back end shit together, to be honest, and the S&D mode. So like, as it sits now, I honestly think it's kind of a 50-50 if this thing succeeds or not. If they can get the netcode fixed, I think it'll have a good shot. If they can't, it's going to frustrate people, I think, and drive people away.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're this far into it, like so many tests and so much shit like that, and it's still a problem.
That's what I don't get, man.
Look, it's out already. I think it's gonna get worked on. How long it's gonna take for this game to be a good game, who knows? If it ever will be. So, I mean, again, that's also very opinionated because some people already think it's a good game. So it's, I'm also wondering where I that's the thing. I hope it does too. I wonder where the what was it? Take players away from Call of Duty, please. I wonder where the player base will be in like a year.
Yeah, it depends on the game modes and it depends on the content, I think, and
how fast they can come out with content. And if it's not just, I mean, there's already kind of crazy skins, so I'm not really worried about that. But I mean, actual legit content, not just skins.
And this one, it's like crazy skins is like not
part
that
of the
big
game.
of a deal because it was kind of the from the start, like the game was kind of designed around that.
And that's the point.
Exactly.
If you start off like that, not taking it so seriously, then it's fun if you put those crazy skins into it,
Yep.
But the second, if they went all, hardcore Tom Clancy type stuff, then it'd be like, all right, what are you doing? But this is, I'm seeing the cleaners fight, people from Rainbow Six, I guess. I don't even know what I'm looking at, to be honest, sometimes.
Yeah, I really don't
all over the
know.
place.
I really don't know if Black Ops 6 is going to kill it, because at the end of the day,
it's not.
There's going to be a fair amount of people that just want to keep playing this and not spend $60.
Dude, you're going from a free-to-play game that's on console and PC to something that you have to pay for. So
and
that
then
alone
Delta Force in there also. It's just like,
when that comes out too, and if well, again, that's a good thing for players because they're gonna have so many options to dip their toes in. You
What
know?
you're gonna have Delta Force, you're gonna have XDefiant, you're gonna have Arena Breakout, like all for free to play and try out. I do think they will, because they do with other Ubisoft games. I hope they bring it to Steam for PC, because I think that'll help with player numbers a lot, being on Steam. I wonder if that's not in the plans for down the line. Try to get as many people as they can converted to their launcher, and then go ahead and say, all right, whoever's left, come on Steam and you get the numbers up. But
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing we do know is, well, like 2 or 3 times ago when the game was going to launch, they showed a post before one of the 2 or 3 delays. They did show what was coming down the line, and there were a lot of maps. What was it? I can't remember. I think there's like 12.
I do remember that.
There's like 12 or 13 maps planned, already coming in launch, and new guns and new stuff. There's quite a few guns. The progression system is also interesting too. For
The UI is
guns,
horrible, by the way. Just saying.
Do what?
That UI is horrendous. I think it's like
very
one of the
noisy.
most.
Yeah,
It's.
a lot going on.
I think it's just ugly looking. To be honest, the
Yeah.
font from a UI perspective, like the font looks weird. I don't know. That was just a quick little.
The leveling and the the unlocks, the weapon unlocks, and the battle pass are incredibly slow. So I don't know if they're trying to get people to want to buy skips or whatever, but that's really slow. But the theory of it is okay with me, because there's a lot to, like, it's going to take some time to get through, you know. I think once people unlock everything, they could not want to play the game. I don't mind it taking a little bit of time. The other thing that's kind of cool is the weapon mastery camos. My problem with those in COD, so like, you know, getting a gun gold or whatever, my problem was it made me do challenges and play the game like not how I wanted to play the game. Like, made me do shit like prone kills and hip fire kills or mounted kills, like shit that I didn't want to do, so I never did it. These, you get a weapon gold by just progressing it, earning XP, using it, getting kills you get it up to a level 100. So I think that's kind of interesting, because you can still be progressing but play the game how you want to. So I like that, but it is fairly slow. So I don't know if they're trying to get people to like want to buy stuff or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Buff, did you try it at all yet, or are you going to, or not into?
I will not. I will not be trying it.
Gotcha. It's I'm gonna play it once in a while just to kind of like. I have a little bit of hope for the S&D mode, so I'm gonna stick with it and see that through. And then
if you guys eventually tell me like you need to try it, I'll maybe give it a go. But
I think you'll be hooked on Delta Force when it comes out.
that's what I'm saying, dude. I already played Call of Duty.
Now you're a PC gamer, man. You don't have to worry. You got Arena Breakout. Ivanfall.
Buff reaching his final form as the PC master race.
Indubitably, yes. PC, yes.
He's console plebs.
Dang it, man. And yeah, you got Arena too. I want to get back into Arena. I haven't played it in a while. Oh, what a segue that is.
Oh my god, whoa, look at that.
Whoa.
Wow.
Professional segue. Wow. Yeah, dude. So I've been thinking about this over the last couple of days, and I really haven't talked about it much on my stream or made a video. I might make a video for tomorrow about this, but I really wanted to get your guys' opinion on this and see if I'm reading too much into things or if you kind of agree with me. So what happened was the executive producer of Arena Breakout did a interview with Insider Gaming. Shout out Tom Henderson. And I just moved my, hold on. We're fine.
My crash. Come on.
Dude, hold on. I'm holding it together. And there were some interesting questions in there. Like, they straight up asked like about did you steal stuff from BSG? And of course they said no. They believe in intellectual property and integrity and all that stuff. But when they talked about monetization, this is what got me, and I'm really interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this. So he asked, with it free to play, does that equate to pay to win? Of course he said no. He said, and I'll read this through and then you guys react to it. While there will be paid content options available in ABI, they have no impact on gameplay or fairness. Instead, they offer convenience and personalization features. Players have the option to pay for certain conveniences such as safes, extra warehouse space, battle pass, as well as personalized appearances and melee weapons. However, it's important to note that players who pay gain no direct advantage in combat abilities. This is the thing I have my question right here. The in-game economic system will not be designed to push players to pay for in-game money. We will ensure that the majority of players can get sufficient in-game money without paying to support a positive gaming experience. That sounds fine on the surface, but if you read that way too, Blue?
I read it that way. I read this article before, so I already like knew. But even you saying it right there confirmed it. I was like, yeah, okay, I was right. Like I thought I was like the only one seeing that, but I guess not. It was like, wait, so there is going to be an option to buy in-game currency, which can be, I don't know if that's a pay for convenience anymore. You know, and also, what is that in-game currency going to be able to buy you? Kits?
Yeah. Do you have better gear in game? Like, I don't know, man.
Well, that is a pay to win feature. If that's the case, that's not just because just because someone like, okay, it's like you can't pay for a better bullet that can do more damage. Fine. But you're going to be able to pay for more bullets than someone who's just playing normally. So it's like, sure, if the person that bought this AK and the person, with real money and the person that bought this AK with in-game money, they both shoot at each other, both gonna get hurt regardless. It doesn't matter. But the fact that the guy who isn't spending money dies, has to come back, redo more stuff in game, where the other guy can just go put more money and buy another kit. So it's like, that is pay to win, in my opinion.
Buff, do you read that the same? It's in quotation marks, so I don't know, but it makes it sound like there is an option to pay for in-game money. Do you read it that way?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm not super familiar with the mobile game, but it seems like you'll be able to, if not pay for in-game money, pay for in-game gear, which is essentially the same thing. So I'm not sure. It sounds like you'll be able to pay. The way I interpreted it is you'll be able to pay for like kits and loadouts and in-game items, not necessarily in-game currency. But again, that's the same thing. So I think they purposely left it open to interpretation.
Yeah. It feels
based on
weird.
what I'm hearing from other people too, like from Landmark, is kind of like, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is like you'll be able to purchase in-game items, maybe not necessarily in-game money, but like, for example, with the secure container, we know for a fact from the mobile version you can purchase a larger secure container. So you're not purchasing in-game money, you're using real money to purchase in-game supplies, which pay for convenience.
Yeah, and that's something. So I will say, like, if you can buy money, I'm with Blue. That's 100% pay to win, and I would break it down like this: what is winning in Arena Breakout? It would be surviving and extracting. If you can always run top tier gear and you always have plenty of money, you can buy the best gear, the best helmet, the best armor, the best bullets, and the best gun that's all kitted out meta, and run that every single raid. You cannot convince me that you won't have a higher survival rate than somebody that like gets down on money and has to run some trash guns to try to make it through a raid and build up some money. Like, you can't tell me that if you took the same player and had them run a variety of kits versus the same exact player running all meta gear, that they wouldn't have a higher percentage, higher survival rate with running meta gear all the time. You can't tell me that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's the way they worded it. It's like, why even say that you're not looking to push players? And why even say that if you're not already planning to have in-game currency as an option to buy?
That's right. Yeah, because the better phrasing would be like, it's not going to push people to purchase in-game microtransactions or to make purchases. They said it's not going to push people to buy in-game money.
Yeah, it's like, because it was all good in the beginning of just like the personalized weapons or appearances and the melee weapons and stuff like that. It was like sounding good, and then they got to that part, and I was just like, why'd you say that?
Yeah, that is weird. I think it just doesn't surprise me at all. Like given like what studio this is from, what company it's owned by, and from mobile and being free to play, there's going to be microtransactions out the wazoo.
Definitely.
But I was hoping it wouldn't be pay to win. And like their side of the coin is saying, well, even if you are running a crappy pistol, you can still land a lucky headshot on the Chad with all the meta gear. And it's just like, you can, but are you going
will
to?
you?
It's not very likely. Then you start playing the percentage game, and it's like, yeah, if you spend money, you will probably survive longer. But what do you guys think?
How much?
My other question about Arena Breakout is, do you feel like it's just launched and it's just going to keep getting open and open to more people, and then all of a sudden just open? Like, I feel like they're not going to stop the beta, and they're just going to
I think this is it
up
at this point. Because wasn't it supposed to end a few days ago?
It's been supposed to end a few times, and they just kept going.
It was supposed to end early May, dude, like mid-May, like the 15th or 16th originally.
Yeah, I think it'll just stay open at this point. So
yeah, same.
Which is probably the better route, instead of just opening up the servers from day one and then having them catch on fire. Just kind of just let people trickle in more.
Yeah, and the closed betas, like, it gets a lot of hype going, like people seeing it played, and then they really want to get into it, and it like gets that kind of hype going. But I just, man, and this is another get off my lawn old man take, but it's like, damn it, dude, just let me pay for the game, and I'll pay for the game, and then I get everything. Like the pay as you go with free to play games is really annoying, and we'll get into that with Siege in just a second too. It's just like, I just want to know up front. It's kind of like my problem with like tipping culture in the US. It's like, I'll pay more for the food if you pay the servers more, and we just like have a straight up deal. Like, the food costs this, you pay this, you get the food, right? Like, that's how I wish games were. Like, you pay for it.
I just went to Five Guys today and saw like the tipping thing. Like the lowest was like 5%. I was like, who's tipping? Like, this is like 5%, and like your normal 15% was just like an extra like $8. Also, Five Guys is expensive anyways, but still, it's just like, so tired of it.
Yeah, and then I mean, even at a restaurant like Five Guys, right? Like, you don't have a server. Like, you get your own shit. Like, you go up and get your burger when they call you. Like,
right?
Like,
I tip. Yeah. What am I tipping for again?
Yeah, and then if you don't tip, you feel like a Scrooge McDuck, like a big dickhead. Like,
I still tipped.
I don't know, man.
She was a nice lady. All right.
Yeah,
she took my order very nicely.
That's true.
Very nice Southern woman.
I just wish.
She called me honey when I walked in the door.
She's working it. All right. I get it. I get it.
Tip. Whoa, hold on. Wait, I'm married.
But yeah, man, just give me the thing up front. I'll pay you what it's worth, and then we'll move on. Like, that was the thing. I guess we could talk about Siege.
Love Siege. Sieging.
I'm a little sad. I'm not feeling good.
Don't be sad. Don't be sad, Crash.
Don't be sad. It's just how it works out sometimes.
Say the line. Say the line.
Dude. Worst, man. A lot of bad stuff happens in gaming, man. 2042 Siege. Free to play, pay to win.
It's the rise of indie games.
Teletubby skins.
Hopefully.
They're here to save us.
Teletubby skins, dude.
I love Teletubbies. My favorite.
I think our special forces soldiers should start dressing as Teletubbies and just confuse the shit out of the enemy combatants.
That would intimidate the enemy.
The hell?
Just like blasting like ooh music and like a bunch of Teletubbies running towards you. That would
Naruto running towards you.
Yeah, you definitely freeze up. That's for sure. I don't.
Yeah, you're gonna take a minute and question what the hell you're looking
what
at.
is it? What is happening? The drugs
what?
Yeah, the new Siege season is quite a bit underwhelming. If you guys have listened to the podcast for a bit, I always talk about how Siege is an example of a game that's been supported for a really long time, getting close to year 10, new ops and stuff all the time, new maps, all this stuff. It's great. I buy the battle pass, even though sometimes I don't play enough to finish it. I just like to support them because they're doing a lot of work on the game, like way into its life cycle. But this season, is really rough, man. They're adding 2 operators, quote unquote, but it's not. They reworked the recruit. So back in the day, you could get the recruit. They just had a standard loadout, and it was meant for if you didn't have any operators unlocked yet, you could always play as recruit. You could always play the game. They're making recruit an operator, and all it is an operator where 2 speed, 2 armor. You get to select 2 of the secondary gadgets. Like normally, when you have an operator, you have like their big ability or gadget, and then you get a secondary gadget. The recruit can simply take 2 secondary gadgets, so 2 different gadgets. So on attack, you can take like the pocket EMP and the can opener breacher, and you can be like a self-sufficient mini hardwall breacher, which is kind of cool, but it really doesn't feel like a new op, right? Like it's like a remastered op. There are 0 new maps, no map reworks, nothing like that. They're nerfing 2 of the problem operators in Fenrir and Solus, and they are introducing a membership. There's some back-end changes to AI stuff. They're adding like a endless bot mode where you can move through the map, shoot bots, kind of like T-Hunt used to be before they took it out. So it's kind of hard to call that content when it's a mode that you took out in the first place and now are coming back with it. So it's just like there's not a lot of content there, right? Like reused op, no new maps, all that stuff. And then they introduce a membership on top of that. So basically, they're doing a bonus reward system if you enroll early in the season. You get Bravo packs. It's a recurring membership. So if you sign up in June, you get the Battle Pass, 10 levels, a Bravo pack, and an Epic bundle. And then at the end of June, you get another Epic bundle and a weapon skin. And then if you renew in July, you get 10 Battle Pass levels, a Bravo pack. If you later in July, you get an Epic bundle, legendary headgear. If you renew in August, you get another 10 Battle Pass levels, a Bravo pack, an Epic bundle, and a legendary uniform. And you get all these sign-up bonuses as well. And it's just like you're telling people they can sign up for a recurring membership to get all the content, and then you do a season with like the least amount of content since Operation Health, and Operation Health was like to fix the game.
Yeah.
It's really it's really shitty timing. And what was crazy is they announced this during the Manchester Major over the weekend, and you could hear the crowd booing. Like they were like booing, and they started chants and shit. Like,
but you guys don't have phones?
How terrible this was. And yeah, man, it was crazy. Like it's a bummer because I've always like looked at Siege as like, this is how you support a game. And then now they're doing this. So I think even later on, I don't think there's any new maps coming this season. And then they're doing a new operator next season and like a Blackbeard rework after that. So this year is kind of lackluster in content for Siege. And then so it's like, hey guys, we're giving you less content, but if you want, you can sign up for a membership to get that less content for more money. If you're interested, sign right here. So
yay,
it's not good. But at the major last year, I wonder, so if I still do the glass half full thing, I think year 10 they're doing something crazy and they might be working on that. I think in year 10 they haven't said what the cost is. That's the other thing. That's the other caveat. They haven't said how much it'll cost. So if it's like the same price as what you pay for the battle pass every season, then that's pretty cool. That's like actually a good deal, but we'll see. I think in
crazy you're saying year 10 in general though. That's, you know, I
think next year in year 10, I think they're going to do a major engine upgrade, and maybe they're working on that. I don't feel like this. Well, I guess the same teams would. I was going to say the same teams probably don't work on post-launch content as work on a new engine, but if it's like the map team and stuff, they'd be working on
like Rainbow Six Siege 2.
I don't think they'll call it 2.
Not like Counter-Strike.
Right,
how they did their in-game engine.
The reason I wonder is because someone asked about Siege 2, and the game director said it hasn't worked out for other games that have tried it. They're thinking Overwatch, Counter-Strike, right? Like, yeah, 2.0 didn't go over well, but they said they're planning something big for year 10. So I feel like they're just gonna do like a game overhaul and just not call it 2. It's still Siege. But
They're gonna get rid of Siege or just make it R6. That's it.
I wonder.
Like,
yeah,
minimalist.
I feel like Rainbow Six is such an untapped franchise. Like they tried to spin off and make Extraction. Like that's
It
what you came up
wasn't
with.
back in
Wow.
the day.
What happened to
Rainbow
Patriots?
Six, dude. Rainbow Six Vegas. Ugh.
So sad.
They'd be so cool. How would that look? Those games were just like, were they like single player, right?
It had multiplayer aspects to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
But it was
never even
third
played 'em.
person, you know. So it played a little bit different. But it was like third person, but from a different, not the third person you think of nowadays. It had like their game was built around third person. So it's not like it was super cheesy, but it could be pretty cheesy too as well. But
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that's the main stuff I wanted to talk about this week. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to hit before we call it a show?
I don't know. I think that was pretty much all I got too. Yeah, just
Pouring out
I'm
for
just-
Siege?
just waiting for other games to come out, I guess, and see what happens.
Yep. There's still a lot on the plate. And then I think next week's episode we'll probably try to do. Yeah, next week's episode will probably be like a little bit of a Summer Game Fest like preview. So a lot of times we'll kind of get a list. We'll kind of get like a list of all the partners and stuff that are going to be at Summer Game Fest and what we can see maybe at Ubisoft Forward and all that stuff. And then we will try to talk about what we want to see coming to Summer Game Fest in that week. We might get some more details. There's still some games floating around out there, right? Like we might get some more information on COD. I think we're going to hear something from Delta Force during that. Arc Raiders is still like MIA. Like what the hell happened to Arc Raiders? Hoping to maybe see something about them, right, Finn? Yeah, exactly. So there's still stuff out there. I can see stuff like Arena Breakout announcing that the game is going to open beta for everybody to hop in. There's some stuff that could go down there.
Yeah.
If we're like full dream mode, it would be really cool to like TTK Games, some of the former Battlefield guys, Mr. Battlefield, Lars Gustafsson. That studio would be cool to hear what they're working on. I think it's still too early, but there's stuff floating around out there. It feels like it's like 90% uwu weeb stuff, and then we'll get like two or three cool shooter announcements. So we'll talk about those.
I think Delta Force said they're doing a trailer on the 7th. So that'll be good.
Is Delta Force Tencent as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
I like
crazy.
the customization. I like is going to be basically exactly what you see with Arena Breakout, but you definitely have some more different options and different weapons. So same type of customization though.
Man, that's kind of wild. So like Tencent is going after like a Battlefield and DMZ competitor and a Tarkov competitor.
Yep.
And then I wonder when PUBG is going to do their Unreal 5 upgrade. I'm looking forward to that too. That'd be cool. I wonder.
Yeah, that'll be nice when it
wonder
happens.
where that's at. Oh, it'd be cool to hear Project Black Budget too. PUBG's extraction shooter would be cool.
I want it.
Yeah,
So,
that one I'm looking. Want to know more information about, but for
won't
now,
hear
that's
anything.
why I think we.
Just hope it doesn't get canceled, man. I'm sick of stuff getting canceled. And I want to
That's another thing too. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I was like, we know we won't hear about Division Heartland. That's not gonna be there.
Right? Yeah. But we do have a lot of good stuff coming up. I mean, maybe we'll get lucky and get some good. I see someone in chat saying potentially a rumored SOCOM. That's been on the shelf for a long time. I would love to see a modern Medal of Honor reboot again as well. I think that franchise was just so far ahead of its time. There's a lot of this is the years of like tactical modern shooters, I feel like, or at least modern shooters. So a lot of this old stuff like SOCOM, Medal of Honor, stuff like that, I think that
Medal of Honor comes back, that'd be great.
That
Yeah,
I mean, but I'm also like worried because it'd be connected to EA.
yeah, that's the problem. I mean, you had EA and Dice. Like Dice worked on, I think, the multiplayer for the 2010 one. Danger Close did, I think, the single player for 1 and 2. But yeah, those games were so far out of their times. I think if you had a Medal of Honor Warfighter today with some semi-refined movement and kill cam, like you'd have game of the year, hands down. That game was
Goaty.
so far. Medal of Honor Woo Warfighter. Yeah,
No.
that's probably what they would do.
It is. Yeah.
Unfortunately, instead of making good games, let's make money and kill a franchise like Battlefield.
Yeah.
Love it.
No, but I was gonna say, yeah, Splinter Cell remake, like Finn said.
Yes.
Because
Yep.
Ubisoft France has the Sam Fisher nods like on their banner for a long time. So
Yeah,
I
they've
would
had it
not
there
be
for a while,
surprised
yep.
if we hear
We
something.
heard about that rumor, I think, like, what was it, like 2 years, probably like 2 years ago now, year and a half ish. I think we heard the Splinter Cell.
Yeah, it's
Like
been a
it was
while.
confirmed. It's kind of in the works, so
It's been a
I'll have to wait and
while.
see. New Ghost Recon coming next year. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, man. So, hopefully competition breeding, like again, we get the best of every game instead of let's make money as easily as possible. I think when you have competition, it's going to breed the best product. So that's important in gaming. I think when you've just had Call of Duty past however many years, it's just created a really dead space for AAA gaming. So
Yep. Well, we'll try to break it down next week, and then for sure after Summer Game Fest we'll have an episode
Definitely.
talking about everything shooter related from that. So that's what we do, man.
That's why I play single player modded games nowadays.
now that I'm a PC elitist, I'm kind of there with you, Blue.
Hey, you can mod Incursion. There's mods for it.
Yeah, I know. Justin was saying some of the stuff he's using. So yeah, I'm gonna get in on that for sure.
Nice. So, all right, guys. I think that's a show. Shout out to all the audio listeners. Appreciate you guys. Thanks to everyone who hung out with us in chat today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Memorial Day. And I think we will, as far as I know, see you guys next week. We'll talk about what's all happening between now and then and Summer Game Fest. Catch you guys later.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.